Imagine the blood flowing through your veins as rivers of life, sometimes clear and swift, other times sluggish and clogged, carrying both vitality and risk. What if I told you that a simple teaspoon a day of certain natural powders could nurture these rivers, keeping them clean, flexible, and alive with energy? Beetroot powder, a vibrant ruby red compound derived from the root vegetable, carries within it a remarkable capacity to influence the way blood courses through the body. Its significance lies primarily in its high concentration of inorganic nitrates, which once ingested are converted by the body into nitric oxide, a simple molecule. With profound effects on vascular health, nitric oxide acts as a signaling molecule, gently instructing the smooth muscles of blood vessels to relax, widening the pathways through which blood flows. This dilation reduces resistance within the arterial system, allowing each heartbeat to push blood more efficiently and with less strain on the heart itself. The effect is subtle and cumulative. It does not act as a forceful medication but as a quiet guide, nudging the body toward a state of natural balance. Beyond the mechanical benefits of improved circulation, nitric oxide also communicates with the endothelial cells lining the vessels, supporting their function and helping to maintain the integrity of the inner arterial walls. In doing so, it reduces the likelihood of minor tears or inflammation that can accumulate over time into more significant cardiovascular problems. Beetroot powder also carries a wealth of phytonutrients that work alongside nitrates, reinforcing its circulatory impact. Petellins, the pigments responsible for the deep color of the root, exhibit antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties, neutralizing free radicals that otherwise contribute to oxidative stress within the vascular system. By calming these reactive molecules, beetroot powder creates an internal environment where vessels remain supple and resilient, rather than rigid and susceptible to plaque buildup. This dual mechanism of nitric oxide production and antioxidant support makes a daily teaspoon of beetroot powder an elegant intervention, simple, natural, and profoundly aligned with the body's own regulatory systems. The process begins immediately upon ingestion. As digestive enzymes and gut bacteria interact with the nitrates and phytochemicals, salivary conversion in the mouth begins the transformation into nitrates, which are later converted to nitric oxide in the bloodstream, illustrating the remarkable complexity of biochemical pathways engaged by something as ordinary as a teaspoon of powdered root. The results are measurable in subtle ways. Blood pressure may decrease slightly, endothelial function improves, and overall vascular tone becomes more responsive. The effect is holistic. It influences not only the heart and vessels but also the delivery of oxygen and nutrients to every tissue, supporting energy metabolism, cognitive function, and physical endurance. The experience of using beetroot powder is also quietly psychological, fostering a sense of mindful participation in one's own health. Each teaspoon becomes a ritual, a daily engagement with the rhythms of the body and the remarkable interplay of molecules, cells, and tissues. It exemplifies how a small, consistent action can have cascading effects, shaping the way the circulatory system operates over weeks and months. Scientific studies have repeatedly confirmed the benefits of beetroot supplementation for cardiovascular parameters. Yet the deeper value lies in its harmonization with natural physiological processes, in its ability to enhance life without imposing artificial force. In this way, beetroot powder is not merely a supplement, but a bridge between the wisdom of nature and the insights of modern science, offering a path toward vessels that are clearer, hearts that are lighter, and blood that flows with the effortless rhythm it was designed to maintain. Cinnamon powder, with its warm aroma and slightly sweet flavor, is far more than a culinary delight. It is a subtle regulator of the internal environment, influencing the intricate balance of sugars, lipids, and vascular health in a way that is both gentle and profound. At the heart of its effect lies a class of bioactive compounds known as polyphenols, which interact with the body's metabolic and circulatory systems, guiding them toward equilibrium. These compounds have the capacity to modulate blood sugar levels, enhancing the sensitivity of cells to insulin, the hormone responsible for transporting glucose into tissues. By promoting more efficient glucose uptake, cinnamon reduces the stress imposed on the bloodstream by elevated sugar, a stress that, over time, can contribute to the formation of harmful plaques within arteries and compromise vessel elasticity. This action is quiet, almost imperceptible at first, yet cumulative and transformative, working as a daily, mindful adjustment to the rhythms of the body's metabolism. Beyond its influence on glucose, cinnamon powder exerts a meaningful effect on lipid metabolism, helping to maintain the balance of cholesterol and triglycerides circulating in the blood. By supporting this balance, it contributes to the preservation of arterial flexibility, allowing vessels to expand and contract with ease, and reducing the risk of minor lesions that can accumulate into chronic cardiovascular challenges. The polyphenols act not only as modulators of metabolic activity, but also as antioxidants, calming reactive molecules that threaten vascular integrity. This dual-action metabolic regulation, coupled with oxidative protection, creates an internal environment in which blood flows more smoothly, where vessel walls retain their resilience, and where the body's own repair mechanisms can function without interference from chronic biochemical stress. The impact of cinnamon powder is enhanced by its interaction with the digestive system, where enzymes and microbiota break down its complex compounds, gradually releasing their active constituents. This slow and sustained release mirrors the natural pace of the body's processes, ensuring that the circulatory system experiences a steady, harmonious influence rather than a sudden surge or intervention. Over time, small daily doses translate into measurable improvements in vascular responsiveness, endothelial function, and overall circulatory tone. The warming sensation often associated with cinnamon is a subtle reflection of this increased circulation and metabolic engagement, a sensory reminder that the body is actively responding to the compounds it receives. Incorporating a teaspoon of cinnamon powder into a daily routine becomes not only a nutritional act, but a ritual of mindful care, a deliberate step toward maintaining balance within the complex system of blood vessels and metabolic regulation. It exemplifies how something as humble as a spice can shape the very architecture of cardiovascular health, influencing both mechanical and chemical aspects of circulation. The quiet consistency of this practice, simple, natural, and scientifically supported, demonstrates that long-term wellness is built not on dramatic interventions, but on repeated, thoughtful engagement with the substances that nourish and protect the body, guiding it toward harmony with itself and the intricate networks that sustain life. Ginger powder, with its sharp, earthy aroma and warming sensation, acts as a remarkable conductor within the body, orchestrating circulation and subtly reducing the friction and tension that can accumulate in the vascular system over time. Its active compounds, most notably gingerols and chagalls, influence multiple physiological pathways, quietly modulating inflammation, promoting blood flow, and enhancing the natural resilience of blood vessels. When ingested, these compounds interact with the lining of the digestive tract, where they are absorbed and begin their systemic journey, ultimately reaching the blood vessels and tissues where they exert their effects. The anti-inflammatory properties of ginger calm the subtle, chronic irritation that can stiffen arterial walls, while its thermogenic action encourages microcirculation, allowing blood to reach even the smallest capillaries more efficiently. In this way, each tiny granule of ginger powder supports the movement of life through the body, easing blockages that are often invisible but profoundly felt in the long term. The circulatory support offered by ginger powder extends beyond mere mechanical effects. It also engages the immune system in a balanced conversation. By modulating the activity of inflammatory mediators, it ensures that the body responds to minor stressors without overreacting, protecting vessels from the slow degradation that can occur when inflammation becomes chronic. This dual effect, enhancing flow while reducing stress, creates an internal environment in which endothelial cells, the delicate linings of arteries and veins, can thrive. Healthy endothelium is critical for regulating vessel dilation and contraction, for signaling to platelets to avoid unnecessary clotting, and for maintaining a dynamic, responsive vascular network capable of meeting the fluctuating demands of the body. Ginger's influence is subtle yet cumulative, gently reinforcing the structural and functional integrity of the circulatory system over time. The experience of consuming a teaspoon of ginger powder daily is also deeply reflective, connecting the act of nourishment with the awareness of bodily rhythms. The warmth it imparts is more than sensorit, is a sign of activation, of blood moving with less resistance, of vessels responding with a quiet flexibility that supports energy distribution throughout tissues. Studies have demonstrated that regular intake of ginger can improve circulation, reduce markers of oxidative stress, and assist in maintaining healthy blood viscosity, illustrating that even simple, natural interventions can have far-reaching physiological consequences by calming inflammation, stimulating flow, and protecting the vascular network. Ginger powder embodies a holistic approach to circulatory wellness that aligns with both traditional wisdom and modern scientific understanding. Incorporating this humble root into a daily routine becomes an act of mindful engagement, a way to participate in the body's own processes of repair, resilience, and renewal. It reminds us that circulation is not merely a mechanical function, but a living dialogue between blood, vessels, and the tissues they nourish. Through consistent use, ginger powder quietly supports the body's intricate systems, reducing stress on the heart, enhancing energy delivery to organs, and preserving the delicate balance of vascular health, demonstrating that profound biological effects often emerge from simple, intentional, and natural actions. Garlic powder, with its distinctive pungent aroma and sharp, earthy flavor, has long been recognized for its profound effects on cardiovascular health. Acting as a subtle guardian within the vascular system, its active compounds, including allicin and other sulfur-containing molecules, engage directly with the bloodstream, modulating complex biochemical pathways that influence arterial function and resilience. When consumed, garlic's compounds help prevent the oxidation of lipids, a process that otherwise contributes to the formation of plaque and the gradual stiffening of vessel walls. By slowing this oxidative stress, garlic powder allows arteries to retain their natural elasticity, facilitating smoother, more efficient blood flow and reducing the load on the heart. This effect is not immediate or forceful, but cumulative, building over time through consistent mindful ingestion and reflecting a deep harmony between natural substances and the body's own regulatory mechanisms. Beyond its role in lipid protection, garlic powder exhibits mild anticoagulant properties, subtly influencing platelet aggregation and supporting the maintenance of unobstructed blood pathways. This does not replace medical interventions when necessary, but it provides a natural complement to cardiovascular wellness, helping vessels remain flexible and free from the micro-obstructions that can quietly undermine health over the years. In addition, garlic engages the endothelial cells that line the arteries, enhancing their function and supporting their ability to regulate vessel dilation. The endothelium is a delicate, responsive system that governs much of vascular performance, and garlic's influence ensures that it can operate efficiently, maintaining a balance between contraction and relaxation that optimizes circulation. The compounds in garlic also reduce low-grade inflammation within the vascular walls, which is often a silent contributor to arterial damage, creating a protective environment where blood can move freely and tissues receive oxygen and nutrients without unnecessary strain. The bioavailability of garlic powder means that its beneficial compounds are released gradually, allowing for sustained interaction with blood and vessel tissues in a rhythm that mirrors the body's natural cycles. This gradual, steady effect is both protective and nurturing, reinforcing cardiovascular resilience, while avoiding the abrupt artificial interventions that can sometimes disrupt the delicate balance of the system. Scientific studies have repeatedly confirmed garlic's ability to support healthy cholesterol levels, reduce markers of oxidative stress, and improve endothelial function, demonstrating that even small, consistent doses can have measurable impacts. Over time, the pungent, warming quality of garlic is a sensory reminder of its activity, signaling that it is quietly engaging in a complex dialogue with the circulatory system, strengthening vessels and moderating risk factors in a natural, holistic way. Incorporating a teaspoon of garlic powder into a daily routine becomes an act of intentional care, a mindful acknowledgement of the intricate processes that sustain life within us. It is a way of participating in the continuous renewal and protection of the vascular network, supporting the heart, nourishing tissues, and preserving the natural flexibility and responsiveness of blood vessels. Through this simple practice, garlic powder exemplifies how natural compounds can guide physiological processes toward balance, illustrating the profound interplay between human ingenuity, culinary wisdom, and the subtle yet powerful, forces of biology that keep circulation vibrant and the body thriving. Amla powder, derived from the small, tangy Indian gooseberry, is a potent source of antioxidants that quietly protect the circulatory system from the wear and tear of daily life. Rich in vitamin C, polyphenols, and flavonoids, Amla engages with the vascular network in multiple ways, safeguarding blood vessels from oxidative stress and supporting the intricate balance required for healthy circulation. When consumed, its antioxidants neutralize free radicals, those unstable molecules that can damage endothelial cells and stiffen arteries over time, creating an internal environment where vessels remain supple and responsive. This protective effect is subtle but cumulative, gently reinforcing the body's natural repair mechanisms and allowing the arteries to maintain elasticity, which is essential for the smooth, efficient movement of blood and the delivery of oxygen and nutrients to tissues. Beyond its antioxidant capacity, Amla powder influences the biochemical pathways that regulate inflammation and cholesterol metabolism. Chronic, low-level inflammation can quietly compromise the flexibility of blood vessels, while imbalances in lipid levels can encourage plaque formation and reduce the efficiency of circulation. The compounds in Amla help to modulate these processes, supporting a balance in which endothelial cells can communicate effectively, signaling the precise dilation and contraction needed to accommodate fluctuations in blood flow. The result is a cardiovascular environment that is resilient and adaptive, capable of responding to daily stresses without accumulating damage, and allowing the heart to operate with less strain and more efficiency. Amla also exerts a nourishing effect on the blood itself. By supporting antioxidant defenses within the bloodstream, it protects red blood cells and other circulating components from oxidative injury, ensuring that oxygen delivery remains consistent and energy production within tissues proceeds without interruption. This subtle fortification of the circulatory medium enhances overall vitality, helping the body function at its best even under periods of stress or increased demand. The tangy, slightly astringent flavor of Amla powder is a sensory reminder of its activity, connecting the act of consumption with awareness of the internal processes being supported, and offering a tangible experience of nourishment that engages both body and mind. The benefits of a teaspoon of Amla powder extend beyond measurable physiological effects. There is a reflective, almost meditative quality in this simple ritual, an invitation to observe and participate in the daily maintenance of one's own vascular health. It exemplifies the principle that longevity and wellness are cultivated through consistent, mindful actions rather than abrupt interventions, and that small, natural compounds can exert profound influence when integrated into routine care. Studies on Amla have shown improvements in markers of oxidative stress, endothelial function, and lipid balance, highlighting the scientific foundation for these traditional practices while illuminating the mechanisms by which this humble berry supports the cardiovascular system. Incorporating Amla powder into a daily routine becomes a deliberate act of care, a gentle acknowledgement of the delicate interplay between blood, vessels, and tissues. It strengthens the internal architecture of circulation, supports resilience against oxidative and inflammatory challenges, and reinforces the natural rhythms that sustain cardiovascular health. Over time, this consistent engagement nurtures vessels that are flexible, blood that flows efficiently, and a body that is quietly protected and revitalized, reflecting the extraordinary potential of simple, thoughtful interventions derived from nature.